Third time's a charm. Here we go. I have tried to record this voiceover 2 times already, and my stuff fucked up, and I sound like a goddamn robot. So here we go. January 2020 setup in my wonderfully giant goddamn notebook. I am doing an alien spaceship theme for January. I decided that I wanted to make my starry night constellation, whatever my theme was, for the beginning of this to continue. And what else is in space and by stars other than aliens? So I drew a fucking spaceship. Anyways, so I looked at a lot of pictures on Pinterest to figure out the right spaceship for me. Like, find your dream house, but like, find your dream spaceship. No. So I took this circle. The little pointed edges are supposed to be triangles. You will see later, kind of not really, because this didn't really come to turn out how I wanted it to, but we all can't have what we want in life, and I guess what I don't get in life is shit to work the way I want it to. Anyways, I used a black Tombow to color this circle in. I thought about using paint, but with my lovely cats that like to get on my desk and stuff, I didn't want to risk water cup or anything getting knocked over. But I did test black paint in the back of this notebook, and it didn't bleed through or anything. It just made the paper crinkly. So I would say for 100 GSM paper, it holds up pretty well to acrylic paint. That's what I used. I didn't use watercolor because I hate watercolor. And it is just the bane of my existence. Anyways, so here I am trying to make these triangles look like something. I spent so much goddamn time on these fucking triangles that I just don't want to look at triangles anymore. I tried to outline them with a micron before I colored them in with my sparkly pen from the dollar store, and then the sparkly pen from the dollar store didn't show up like I wanted to, so then I colored them in with a Tombow. And then, no, I tried to color them in with a micron, and then they weren't dry because I was impatient and didn't wait. And then I colored them in with the Tombow, and then the whole thing just turned into a black, uneven circle because of these stupid triangles. And then I went over the black with my sparkly dollar store ripoff pen, and it didn't work. And then I just got annoyed and I gave up. But in the end, after I was done making this video, I ended up using my Uniball Signo Gel Impact silver pen to color in the triangles, and they look magnificent. So I guess the lesson I need to learn is to be more fucking patient, or to hold less higher standards of my images of things in my head, which I know is never going to stop happening. So we're just gonna deal with my frustration, I guess. Anyways, so here I am coloring in these goddamn triangles. As you can see, my little spaceship is sucking a human up. I used the same Uniball Signo silver pen to write the lettering for January in the giant circle. If you happen to want to recreate this spread for some reason and want to put yourself through the torture that is these fucking triangles that I made, I used the Tombow N15, which is the black, and then the green that I use throughout this entire setup is the 173. Yeah, I have other greens there in the corner, and I literally didn't use any of them. I think I might use the black one in the spaceship, the darker green one that's in the corner in the spaceship, which is 195. But other than that, I didn't use any of the greens that I pulled out. So, yeah, this is what my lovely color cover page turned out to be when I finished with these goddamn triangles. Oh my god, I spent so much time on these triangles. You guys are going to be like, Kira, shut up. We don't want to hear about the triangles anymore. But this is the third time that I've recorded this voiceover, and I'm tired of talking about these triangles myself, but now they're just ingrained in my head. Learn from my mistakes, kids. Just don't do the triangles. You should have just stuck with the big black circle, Kira, and then everything would have been right in the world. Here is my cat Patches getting up on my desk. He likes to try to lick me and lick me and lick me, and then when I don't let him lick me, he tries to bite me because he's an asshole. So that's a thing. Anyways, I made the little calendar on the bottom bigger since this is such a large goddamn notebook. Every number is in a box of 4 instead of just one box by itself. And then I did Monday through Sunday in the green to kind of try to tie in everything. And then I made my calendar start on a Monday because calendars start on Mondays. Which apparently isn't really my motto because the next spread I fucked up. My god. I'm so tired of watching this video back over and over. I should have just left the robot voiceover the second time that I did it. But I couldn't do that to me or you guys because it sounded terrible. It sounded like I was going through a fucking meat grinder. Anyways, here's this wonderful silver Uniball Signo over this black. Look how beautiful that is. It's so shiny. And the little triangles look great. Oh my god, I'm burping. I will need to post a picture of it on like my Instagram or something. So if you want to see what it turned out to look like after I did the silver triangles, you can go to my Instagram. It's at Kira May Petty. I have more followers there than I have on my YouTube channel, so I will probably get more views on there. Anyways, moving on to my next setup. This is my giant monthly calendar setup. I tried to make this as big as I physically could on this paper, in this notebook, because this is where I write everything. All the big picture things. My work schedule, Colby's work schedule, when all the bills are due, when paydays are, when birthdays are, when birthday parties are, when we have a Christmas party coming up. I need to put that in there. Just all of it. It goes in this giant calendar. And then when I get my shit together, I will be transferring it to our giant wipe-off calendar that is in our mudroom. It's the first thing you see when you walk into our house, and I normally fill that in with all of this information, so then it's handy for us to see on a daily basis. And by us, I mean Colby. Colby, if you're watching this, I love you. Anyways, moving on. So I just made these boxes. They are 8 in width and 9 in height. They are literally the biggest I can make them, while continuing to keep the spaces in between them, because I just think that the calendar just looks awesome with the spaces in between them. But one thing you will notice as I'm doing this, and that I know is there, because this is the third time I watched this video to make this voiceover, anyways, is where my 2020 should be another box. There should be another box there. So then this calendar would start on a Monday, like every other calendar in this notebook. Calendar on the fucking cover page. The little calendar that's going to be in my weekly spread. Every single calendar in my future log. I didn't mess up a single calendar in my future log, but I messed up this calendar. How does that work? What? Usually the future log is what you mess up. But I didn't mess up anything in that. But this one, I forgot an entire box in the beginning. So this calendar starts on Sundays. And you will see me have to add a box in at the bottom because that would have been a lot of whiteout that I would have had to splatter all over this page. And I should have just done it, but I didn't. And here we are. And I'm just angry because here we are. So I am putting little dots in the corner of every box, and then I'm going to be writing the date on top of it. I put little alien heads. I didn't color them in. I'm thinking where the rest of the space is either going to be an overflow notes page, or I'm going to just doodle random rocket ships and other aliens and whatever else I want there, because this is my bullet journal and I can do whatever I want with it. And so yeah, that is my monthly page. Next spread. I can't talk now. I've been talking for too long. Is my YouTube upload schedule. So I upload every Wednesday and or Sunday if you have watched any of my videos. Yeah, I don't post consistently. A lot of times Sundays turn into Mondays. But in my mind, I post every Wednesday and or Sunday. So this is my way that I keep track of my videos. So I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. This is my third time trying to explain it, and every time I confuse myself. So the first column of boxes, there's 5 boxes because there's 5 Wednesdays in January. And the first Wednesday, and then the first of the month is Wednesday, so that's why Wednesday's before Sunday. If Sunday was like the 3rd and then the first Wednesday of the month was like the 7th or whatever, that wouldn't make sense on a calendar because math, but then the Sundays would come first. Anyways, so then I would write Wednesday the 1st, and then Wednesday, I think it's like the 15th or something like that, and then Sunday the 5th, and then the next Sunday. And then what I do is I write the name of the video, and then in the little boxes they stand for recording, editing, making the thumbnail, and uploading. So then I will color those in when each one of those steps is done, because those in my mind are like the big like steps in doing it. And then if it's also a more complicated video like this one, I have smaller bullet points that are like that I write in the bigger area of the box, where it would be like record the voiceover, and then list links and description of all products used in the video. And they're just like side things that don't go with every video, but they go with this video, so then they just get added in. So that is how my YouTube upload thing works. Also, little sticky notes that I use to label my pages when I'm flipping between little green things. I use those when it's not really concrete what video is going where, and I haven't recorded it yet, so I can just pull them up and then move them. And a lot of times I'll have multiple ones in there, and then whatever ones don't go for that month just get transferred over to the next month. Yes, that's how my YouTube videos work for me. Next spread is my monthly TBR. I have my normal stats at the bottom that I do every month. How many rereads, how many arcs I've done, total number of pages, average pages per day, average days per book, and then average star rating. And the very, very bottom is my Goodreads challenge. So I plan on making a more lofty goal like I did this last year. I didn't hit my Goodreads goal, but it definitely pushed me to read, to try to hit it. And I would read a lot in 1 month to try to catch up. So that's my goal again for this next year, is to just make a lofty Goodreads goal. And then hopefully I just read a lot of books, because I need to read a lot of books and I like reading books. So I have Goodreads, which is January 1st. That's the beginning of the month. However many books I have on the challenge, and at the end of the month, so I can figure out my difference. And then at the very top is just the books that are on my TBR, and then the books that I just read out of the blue, and then I put how many pages are in each book in my star rating. That is my monthly TBR spread. Next spread is my monthly goals. And this is where I take my goals from the very beginning of the year and I break them down into smaller, more manageable tasks that I can do each month to achieve the big goal overall. So I broke down the goals between author stuff, knitting and crocheting, YouTube, reading, and then other. So then I can try to manage everything. I also have a problem with like letting other things fall to the wayside when I'm doing one thing, and I don't want that to happen, so I'm trying to find a good balance between everything. And I think if I do tiny tasks for other stuff when I'm like really focusing on one thing, like this month I'm going to be really focusing on writing a book, so if I also have like read so many pages per day in a book, and then like also like bring your crocheting with you to work so you can crochet in the break room, like stuff like that. Then this next page is my daily tarot. I just did 1 through 31 on the page, and my plan is to pull a tarot card every day and write down what tarot card it is, and then like the key points that come with each tarot card. And then at the end of the day, I plan on like journaling about it to reflect on whether or not it was like really spot on or it wasn't, or like where I noticed that tarot card taking effect in that day and whatever, because I want to get more into my tarot than I have been. That's the point of that spread. Last spread is my weekly spread, my very first one. So what I did is I put a little calendar up in the corner that starts on Monday, like all calendars should, except for my big calendar. But anyways, I will highlight what week I'm on, so then I just know big picture, like where I am in the month. And then along the side, I put important dates, so each box is a weekday, and then important dates that would go in there is like when Colby works. Wow, I can't talk. When I work, birthday, anything that isn't a task or like a big event. Like if it was a birthday party, then it would go under the actual like date headings that I write, because then it will get like X'd off when you go to that event. But if it's just like that person's birthday that day, then that's what the important date section is for. So I just wrote the days of the week down the side, and then I colored the little lines in with the green Tombow that I've been using this whole time. I'm very much enjoying all the green. Yeah, I'm not really much of a green person, but this has converted me, I guess. Archie has decided to join me on my desk. You will see that he will eventually just lay down on the notebook while I'm doing stuff. But then I just write in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I decided to put a little time tracker in under each day of the week heading. So that goes from 5 a.m. to 4 a.m. for 24 hours. So I can keep track of my sleep and my work schedule in more of a timely manner, so I can see all of my other free time that I have to do other things like YouTube, writing, reading, crocheting, knitting, watching TV shows, stuff like that. So I can pretty much just see what extra free time I have to do other things. So I'm not just like getting into the habit where I'm just like, oh, well, I slept, I went to work, and I have to go back to bed soon to go to work again, so I can't do anything, when in reality, I have more time than I think I do, to where I could probably fit in, like, recording a video, or reading some chapters of a book, or, like, crocheting some rows on a blanket, or something like that, where I can this is where trying to balance all of my things I like to do comes into play with trying to balance them with my hectic work schedule, because I don't have a set time that I go in every day like Colby does. I just work whenever they schedule me. So some days I work at 6 in the morning until like 10 or 12, and other days I don't go in until like 5 at night and I'll close. So it just depends on when they schedule me. So that really then makes it, I don't know how to word this. That then makes it very clear what then I can spend my time on. There we go. That's what I meant. So after I do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, then under Sunday, I just do a next week area. So then any tasks like recording videos or editing a video or anything that has to happen next week because I'm like too booked, or it's just a video for next week or something like that, will get written in the next week's spread. So then I can just migrate all of that to the next week when I set it up. And then along the side, I will be putting just a giant box that says notes. So I can just brain dump in the box to just like try to clear my head and get ideas down on my head, because I have a problem with like coming up with an idea and then I won't ever write it down and then I'll forget it. And then I'm like, damn, that was a really good idea, but now I don't remember what it was. So hence the notes section. Anyways, this is the end of this video, and this is the last time that I'm going to record a voiceover for this video. So this one better not sound like a robot like the other ones did. Anyways, if you like videos like these, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because I plan on putting out a plan with me every month, and then I will be doing a flip through of my bullet journal at the end of the year so you can see how everything comes together when I actually use it. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.